Well, it's officially 2 o'clock, but with the raffle going on and the song's not over yet, so we're just going to kind of ease our way into training.
But then my friend did just have a virgin she's like, it was like a first course, so she's like, we need to get this thing. Like, everybody was interrupting until like 3 or 4. And they had a
It's one thing I like about technology. 16 people signed up. And here we are. But for case or to keep things on time, especially with the recording and everything, we're just going to get it rolling. Hello.
I was in the wrong room. I misread it too. Until somebody said, "Thank you for coming to my talk about," and I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, this isn't about this is.
I'm so happy that you're happy I came to your talk, but I came to the wrong talk, so you're doing fine for me. Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Well, I'm expecting with the raffle and the room stuff, we'll probably have a few more coming in, but luckily most of you know who I am, but the people that are on the camera and on the recording don't know who I am. So I am TSWB. I call myself a professional problem solver. All sorts of fun, interesting stuff. Today's talk is cover your assets, record everything, and a lot of people that, if you've known me for a while, a lot of people know me as the tech guy, the AV guy, the mic guy. I've been an audio tech for longer than a couple of you have been alive, and because I started before I was born. And I've also done video tech. I owned a photography studio. Actually, I put together a little handout that we've got enough, or I should say, low enough people. You can read this later. This is a little bit of who I am and what I have managed to do in my life and times so far. But we're going to get right into the talk. How many, by show of hands, record sessions with clients? That was the one I was looking for. And you don't, do you work with clients? You currently don't? In this day and age, as we know, we have some opportunistic people who we will kindly refer to as lawyers. And then we have the other people who know that they exist and want to make up stories. So I learned early on, record everything. The handout that you got, I'm going to let you know right now. If you guys remember back to high school or grade school where all of a sudden you're like, it's due tomorrow? Guilty. I'll walk you through the screenshots that I made, give you a little idea of how I set up my sessions with my clients with note-taking and the software that I use. The software, there's a QR code on the last page that'll bring you right to it so you don't have to write it down and try and remember it. To get things rolling, I'm going to step right into it. I've done this with even live in office client work. It's a little trickier because of having to record it off of a camera and still get your recordings and get the notes in. Now I am completely 100% virtual. I've got clients all over the world, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I've had people like, you can do hypnosis on the computer? Like, you ever watch a movie? Hey, you're hypnotized on the screen. Yes, I can. With doing it this way, I also enjoy the ability to have the clients in a very comfortable setting, aka typically their house or an office or something where I don't have to go, hopefully you're out of trance, have a nice drive home. Home's that way. We actually had one client at the office that I was working at when I first started in San Diego. He left and went the opposite direction and didn't realize it till he was at the border of Mexico. That was a half-hour drive the wrong direction. So another reason, if you've got anybody like this first one that you're looking at, that is a screenshot of my entire monitor. And because of who I am and what I do and AV and everything, yes, I have a 50-inch monitor. But to give you a little idea that you don't have to fill up or record the entire screen with Snagit. The second shot is a little closer up. Now I didn't go and get somebody's face on there because of HIPAA. So the center block here is where their camera profile will be. On the right-hand side, I use notes because it's the easiest way for me that I've found to track all of my notes and everything. The one on the right-hand side will be all the notes from their last session. The one on the left is me actively doing notes during our current session. And sometimes I will wait until after the session to add extra notes and stuff like that, but I'll still keep recording while I'm putting it in there so that the recording also has all of the notes in it. That way there's no question. I wanted to give you guys a couple of quick stories as to why I'm so adamant about this, other than the fact that, yes, I'm an AV guy and I feel we should record everything. Part of my pricing structure is if my clients pre-purchase 5 hours of time, they get a discount. Well, one of my clients agreed to the 5-hour package. First session, because I charge by the minute, not by the session, went an hour and a half. Second session went 2 hours. Third session went an hour and a half. So they've got 3 sessions. I said, okay, so if you would like to purchase some more time, they lost their stuff. You said I get 5 sessions. I paid for 5 sessions. Oh my God, what's your ticket? And I went, I'm human. I may have said that, but that would be completely out of context because that's not how I structure. But let me check my notes. First thing I did, pulled up their video recording, pulled out that little snippet where they agreed to, yes, I would love to buy the 5-hour session. I would love to pay for the 5-hour session. Okay, so you're going to get the 5-hour session? Yes. Sent that to them. Now another, and I've had a couple of these, but another reason that it's really important, and I want to say it came out of New York, not that we have any challenged people in New York, but for those of you from New York, give me a call, I'll help you. But somebody went on a shooting spree and said that their hypnotist hypnotized them to do it. And the hypnotist had no way to validate that except for, I would never do that. I've got plenty of clients and all this stuff. And I believe that the charges were dropped against the hypnotist because this guy had challenges. But that was another one where I went, I'm recording everything. Any questions so far, sir?
I came in a minute late, so did you mention the software package? Or?
Software package, there's a handout that you'll be getting.
Okay.
And also, if you did not receive a ticket, I will be doing a drawing at the very end. I've given away a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
Must be present to win, all the above. There we go. And there's the close-up of notes. And I apologize. Sir, yes.
When you were talking about the person who was unclear on 5 hours versus 5 sessions,
Yes.
I think the easy approach would just be to have some sort of agreement that states it, so then you don't have to go back to the tape and see what the
Yes, I do have a written one, but they have a tendency to not find it, follow it, whatever. And so to have the verbal ability to go, hi, this is you. And one of the things that I wanted to point out, this will be on page 5 of the handout. Snagit, the software package that I use, allows you to record whatever section of the screen you want to record, as small or as big. The advantage to that is I will always drag down to the very corner to make sure that I have the time and the date included right in on that recording. And it's another form of validation. A few things about the software, and you guys, if you've got any questions beyond this class, please feel free to contact me if I can't answer it. TechSmith is always very good at follow-up and tech support as well. But should you choose to utilize this software, in the recording bar up above, make sure that you're seeing movement in the mic section. I've had it before where, because you can have multiple mics and somebody who's an AV guy might have 3, 4, 5 mics hooked up, and didn't take me long. I'm like, I don't have the right mic selected. So I got that. But that's more of a practice thing, I guess I'm going to call it. The biggest one that I'm going to emphasize a little bit more before I wanted to make sure that I had all the very important stuff touched on first. Doing your backups and stuff, because it's sensitive material, and in this day and age of electronics, there are days that I love technology and then there's the rest of the year. And so what I have is make sure that when you set up your Snagit software, that it will drop the initial recording onto an external hard drive, or else it will try to, by default, set it up to store all of those videos on your computer. And that eats up memory in a quick hurry. And so you can take and have all of the initial recordings dropped into an external hard drive. And then I recommend having a secondary hard drive, external hard drive, that you save as, title it as the client, and I like to put in the date in a 6-digit format, get all that in, and save that to the other external hard drive. And then, because I'm redundancy to the hilt, get one of those backup hard drives that has the software where it'll mirror the two that you're dropping onto. I've seen too many people that, I've got everything on this hard drive, it's amazing, it died. So
you're saying you have 3?
I have 3 hard drives.
2 and then a third one.
2 and a third one, yes.
The third one's like a backup.
The third one is a backup, absolutely. Again, it's little stuff that I've learned through the years the hard way, because those lessons stick. just like that, or at least they're supposed to.
So the question is, the Snagit software work with a video camera, and is that the way it works?
The question was, does Snagit work with video camera? No, Snagit software is designed as a capture software on the computer monitor itself, or on the computer itself, laptop, whatever. And
It's a screen capture. Yeah?
screen capture.
Does it also do audio?
Yes, does audio, video. It can be used for so many different things. I've used it for, I've captured voicemails left by my father who passed away. And so I just turned the camera on me and
So you're saying you're using the camera from your laptop,
using the camera from my laptop.
watching your whole session, and you're typing notes in at the same time.
No, it's actually like I record all of my Zoom meetings. I've got recordings of anything that I do on computer. Zoom meetings, webinars, if somebody's putting on a training that I'm interested in that I've paid for, I will watch it on my computer and I'll snag it and capture that, title it, and put it in my archives. It's really cool. I've also had one of my uncles just had his 80th birthday, and so we did a Zoom meeting there. Well, they had forgotten to record it. Somebody didn't, so I had recorded it on Snagit, and it had the date and everything, and so I made copies and sent it out to the family. So there's a lot of really cool benefits to it.
So one last question on that.
Yes.
So you got your chair, you got where you're sitting. Where's your laptop relative to the two of you?
My work desk is right here. I've got a 50-inch monitor because I can. And so I've got my camera, which, because this is black and white, isn't showing up quite as well as I would like. But so I've just got my webcam in front of me.
You have an external webcam.
External webcam, but it'll work the same with a laptop with the built-in. But as soon as you start your session, I used to use Skype. I use Teams now. Skype 2.0 done, and that way it's got my video, my clients, my notes on last session, this session. All of that is captured in one recording.
Okay, so if I got this right,
Yep.
what you got is your laptop in front of you,
Yes, sir.
the webcam pointing at you and the client.
No, because the recording software is right on the computer. All you're doing is capturing whatever is on the screen. So it's not like taking an external camera and recording you and the computer superimposed.
She's doing it, she's just doing everything online.
Yes.
You're thinking that it's an in-person session, yes?
Yeah.
No, what he's doing, he's describing it as an online session.
Oh, so all these are like Zoom calls or something like
Yes,
that?
but I've recorded when I first started, I started working in Dr. David Snyder's office. And even then, I made sure that every session I did was recorded. And the challenge for me then, with doing it that way, I was recording on a laptop as a meeting. And then when I got done with my notes, I would have to start the recording again. I would pause it, start it again, and hold up my notes to the camera so I would have something, or like you say, type them so that I had them all archived. But now that I'm full virtual, because I've got clients, I've got clients in Europe and New Zealand, Australia, Canada, both coasts, and yes, the time zone change is a little challenging, but I have that freedom. And this is so far the best solution that I have found for that application.
So you mainly don't do person-to-person stuff, you do online interactive video
I don't do person-to-person.
for this product.
For the most part, I prefer the virtual online. Also, I do other things as well. Being an AV guy, I'm running my sound through a mixing board, and so I've got a preset echo on a slide, and so if I want to go into really snapping them into trance, if they're a little challenging, I'll make sure that they're wearing headphones, and then I'll slide in a little echo, and get them really where I've had them come out, and they're just like, I'm just going to sit here for a while. I'm like, that's a good time. Enjoy yourself. Any other questions? I know I've been slamming a lot of information at you guys, so, sir.
Have you ever had any pushback from customers in terms of, I don't want to be recorded for privacy reasons?
Great question. The question was, have I ever had any pushback from clients who do not want to be recorded? Yes, absolutely. And for a couple of different reasons on their behalf. Some of them had a little bit of paranoia and a little, what if I don't need it leaked out and all this stuff? And I said, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure there are some practitioners out there that will agree to not record it. I don't, but I do it for both of our benefits. I said, you will have the ability to request your recording. I don't hand out the recordings because you've already made the progress, and I don't want you watching it and possibly undoing everything. But if something should come up, they will be available to you. And most of the time then, the fact that I'm like, then I'm not your person. And you'll have access to them. And I said, I am bound by HIPAA. I cannot share your information, your name, the videos, or anything with anybody else. So, sir.
I just want to share, I just pulled up my agreement, because this is how I said it, because people have said, are you recording or are you recording? So I write, privacy and safety is important. We acknowledge that sessions will be video recorded and securely archived. And I have another thing that says, everything said during session or digital communication by me or the client is regarding to proprietary information cannot be shared and must remain confidential. Anyway, I explained to them that is for your safety and my safety, very similar to what you said at the beginning. I say, I would never want something to happen during our session that we couldn't go back and review and confirm happened or didn't happen.
Exactly. And for those of you on the recording, he basically reiterated what I was saying and has a pre-written agreement that states, yes, I'm recording. Everything is private. We're not going to share it outside for anything. But if there's something that you feel needs to be reviewed, it will be available to you. And yes, it's, again, that's why the talk is cover your assets, because they're out there. And of course, we have a number of clients that come to us because they can't find Witch Doctor in the yellow pages anymore. So that's who we also have to accept that we're working with. Any other questions regarding the software? I know we've got a couple of people that popped in, but.
Do you have a system where you can record the video but not the audio?
The question was, do I have a system where you can record the video and not the audio? You can mute the audio. It's right on the work bar. Once you start the recording, if you so want to, you can mute the microphone.
Why would you?
Well, there are people who don't want what they're discussing with me to be on tape.
Yeah, see, and that's...
I've had that situation.
See, then you can't validate what they said or didn't say, or what you said or didn't say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the ones where I'm like, then I'm probably not your practitioner. And I will posture up on that. But I'm glad that you brought up the audio. Being an AV person, oh, squirrel! For those of you that don't know me, my squirrels have squirrels who know squirrels that bring squirrels. So yes, the other thing that I want to touch on beyond this talk, anytime you're doing some type of a talk like this or doing a webinar or anything, record it, record it, record it. And make sure that your audio is the best part. The reason being is if you have a video and the video is super clear, it's tack sharp, the lighting was amazing, and the mic sounds terrible, you don't have a product. The way I know, you ever watch people that trying to get TV show on, but they can't get doesn't take long. But now I'm going to date a few of us here. Back in the day, there used to be these things called scramble boxes for certain channels. You could kind of see the picture, but you could hear the audio perfectly, and you'd still watch it, maybe. The other thing about that is when you're making those products, as long as your audio is crystal clear, you now have multiple products. You can release the video as a product. You can release the audio alone as a product. And when the audio is nice and clear, it can be dictated and transcribed and turned into a third product. So make sure that you've got a really good mic setup. And you don't have to go overboard like someone might be guilty of with the mixing boards and everything. But if that's something else that you would like to know about, please reach out. I love teaching this stuff. Sir?
Can Snagit take input from an external video camera?
Excuse me?
Can the Snagit product take feed from a video camera?
Oh, that's a great question. The question was, can Snagit be downloaded into a video camera? The way that it works, I don't believe so.
No, I meant the other way around. Can you take a video and put it into Snagit?
Oh, yes, absolutely. If you can feed any video onto your computer, you can drag and capture whatever is there. And especially like with my uncle's birthday would be a great example. It would have been very easy for me to bring up the recording that I did and then re-snag it with a little, like a notes over here, and add some notes in along with it, like who attended and all those other things, and create a brand new recording of it. And I could have, because the original recording when I did it, I always drag down and include the date and time. On the re-record, I would be able to drag only what I wanted. Just the little window if that's what I was looking for. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. If you could hook a video camera and then have the feed go into Snagit, and that, it's another option.
It is another option, yes. Any other? Yes.
I have a question, and if you guys already talked about this.
That's okay.
So if we're recording ourselves for our own protection, the session for our own protection purposes, if we have a client, like, for example, I work with a lot of pilots, and they cannot seek out mental health services because they have it on their record.
Yep.
And sometimes, I know from my previous job when I was a social worker, you can't. Sometimes things can be subpoenaed and put into court.
Correct.
And so if you have something like that where somebody has like it's really difficult for them to get help, how would we set it up so that they could still get the help they need without feeling like there was a trail that could hurt them?
The question was, if I understand correctly, when you have highly sensitive people that could possibly be subpoenaed for the stuff that is there, if they are paying personal, it would depend on how it may be found out that they had been working with you.
Right.
And you're still under HIPAA law. So yes, pretty much anybody could be subpoenaed for working with people like us. I would have to, that one I would probably ask a lawyer, because I don't understand all the laws, but regardless, I let them know that all of that information is properly stored. Even like my laptop is with me today. There is zero client information on my laptop. All of my client information, all the recordings are on my external hard drives and in my safe right now. So, great question though. Anybody?
I just wanted to offer to the gentleman. I've been a client of TJ's, and I also work on the Snagit program that he's talking about. I did not know. The only reason I knew I was being recorded is because he mentioned it once, and that was it. And once that report is there, that trust is there. So to your client, you can let them know if at any point you feel unsafe, then we can't proceed, but this is truly for your safety and for mine, because we're in an agreement together that I'm helping you and you're also protected under that. And that's usually how the agreement is.
Similar to what you asked earlier about turning on the thing, this may apply to you. So you could always say that in order, because I'm a woman, that might be a man, right? Like, I must have at least video of the session where we can not record the audio. Like, we want a record of what was said, but we'll at least have a record of what happened in this room to make sure that nothing inappropriate would ever happen, and that protects both of us. So we'll at least do a video recording to help me secure the archive in our hard drive. And yes, we'll sign an agreement that says, unless I literally have to or forced by a court, I would never return them. At least you feel safe with the man who do, knowing that there's some record of what happened.
One other, just to throw it out, if I may.
Yeah.
When it comes to the recording, is if you have the video positioned on you as a therapist, so you have the individual on the frame. This way, you still know what's happening. You know what you are doing. You know that there's no inappropriate physical activity, and you have a record of the entire session while providing the person with the anonymity. So that might be a balance. I mean, granted, you're still not covered from the perspective of he said, she said, but you are covered from the perspective of a visual, from inappropriate type of behavior, sexual harassment, and stuff like that. So I'd like you to consider it all.
And for those of you watching on the video, or if you didn't hear any of that, we had a lot of great topics come up about audio and video recording, and I'm glad you brought up the context of different sexes working on the same thing in this highly sensitive time and day and time that we have right now about he said, she said, and all these other things. Another reason why I record everything.
For the gentleman up front, I know you mentioned Zoom, that you record on Zoom, of which you can. To me, as a client, I have that constant reminder of like, hey, you're being recorded. Whereas with Snagit, I didn't have that reminder, and it was just much easier to let go and to get in and do the work. That being said, with Zoom, even though they say we're not doing stuff with it, you truly don't know, and really you're exposing a ton to Zoom, whereas with Snagit, it really is only between the client and the professional.
Oh, you're talking about,
How you can record with AI
Yes.
and do that whole recap thing. Yeah.
but you cannot use Snagit to do what Zoom does. Is that right?
You say that once more?
Well, Zoom has a different different purpose, and Snagit is a different purpose. Snagit only operates on your computer.
Yes,
The Zoom is for
it
broadcast.
goes out, yeah.
And again, for the recording, the point was brought up that if something is being recorded on a Zoom meeting, being that's internet-based, we don't know who else could be having access to that recording, whereas the Snagit software is specifically on your computer. As far as we know, we're going to run with that, but it's a one-place location recording. Sorry.
If you're being ultra paranoid, I would disagree because Meet, Google Meet, or Skype, or now Meet, whatever it's called now, all
Yeah.
these things are all internet-based. So there's a provider regardless of who's the provider.
Exactly.
So if you're doing something between you and someone in a remote location, that has the potential for access to the cloud, so therefore it could be stored somewhere else. Even if you click store locally.
Yeah.
Anyway, but if you have someone in your room, the Snagit thing makes total sense because there's nothing going outbound. It's just a screen in the environment you're in. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm following your thoughts on that. What I think he said was the software, as far as your knowledge, with Snagit, it's on your computer, so it's much more closed, whereas with Zoom or Skype, you then seem to be getting different things, like you mentioned, because it's such a bigger company. Whereas like a program on the computer, not going to a cloud.
And again, for those of you watching the recording, we've had some great discussions, which I'm just going to say has solidified the reason why I'm having this talk. In this day and age, having the ability, finding a software that can have all of these different options, and I'm just using it as one option in my work to track work with my clients. But there are so many applications that can be done as long as people know that it is out there, it is available. And we still got some time. Now, I will be doing a drawing in a bit, which I have some goodies for you guys, so I appreciate you showing up. You had a question?
Do you have any recommendations for like which video software you go through? Because Zoom it seems like there's been came up recently that people accessing it, even though it should only be closed within the group. Has there been any issues with that? Like, hey, this is the video software we're going to go with because of these reasons.
That's a nice. The question was, what video platforms do you recommend because of all the things that have been popping up? And even when I first started and I told people that I was using Skype and this and that, and I went, I'm not dealing with national security issues of weapons diagrams and everything. One of the main reasons I worked or used Skype, which of course, again, as I said, is now Teams with Skype 2.0. I had the ability to message back and forth easily with clients. Schedule changes or something. My sessions with my clients don't always go, as you know, when you're working with clients, sometimes things go a little sideways and we got to make sure that we're there until we get them back to home plate. I have the ability, if I need to drop and send a little message to my next client in a session, we'll be with you as soon as possible. That's why I do it. Yes, there's a ton of different software, and we could spend the next 10 minutes just going over which ones and the benefits and everything and on that. Sir?
I'll answer your question. So do you do in-person or remote sessions?
That's the part all I do is in person, but it's been more just kind of friends and family
Do you have
recognition.
an Apple computer or PC?
I have a PC.
Okay. So there's going to be a local software that sits there, it's on the cloud, that once you connect the webcam, that would show the webcam live on your screen. Like you said, if you decide to use that software like Snagit or something like it, where that is just sitting there locally, it's not being broadcast anywhere, it's not going anywhere, that would be the most secure. Whatever software is built in to the system is going to be the one that just shows the screen image of what is being broadcast from the thing, versus Zoom or Skype or anything else that has to go out to the website, right, to the cloud, to be able to pull in that source of the videos. That would be the most secure way to do it.
Yeah, sir.
If I may touch on it, just from a security standpoint, of the IT business from several ways.
Yes.
So, as far as any kind of secure software is concerned, everything out there, I would say is subpar. The only one that I would actually consider using for secure communication currently today would be BlackBerry's Enterprise Messenger. It's encrypted, it's point-to-point, it's practically impossible to intercept, and there's no intermediary like you have with Zoom or anybody else where you're popping on something else's server. So,
Who's the name of that software?
it's BlackBerry Enterprise Messenger.
BlackBerry.
Like the old, BlackBerry from the days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically they got rid of all the consumer products and everything else, but they have an enterprise product that gets about $30 or $40 a year, and it is what I would consider to be the only secure platform that I consider. Sorry, it has video, it has conference calling, it has chat, it has everything else except file transfer.
Well,
But it's not a publicly
No.
downloadable one. It's not a very much. So just something to consider.
so there's another, and what was the name of it again?
It's BlackBerry Messenger Enterprise.
Okay, for those of you on the video or on the recording, we had a suggestion for BlackBerry Messenger Enterprises for a secure software for doing the stuff that that's why I love doing this stuff, because I always learn as well. We're getting low on time. I got a drawing I got to do. I would also like to invite all of you, if you have the opportunities on Tuesday nights, I offer a free Zoom meeting from 6 till 8 Central Time. And on that one, I do my best to get through 3 topics in the first hour. And the second hour is open mic, open platform. Anybody on the call is able to bring up a question or a topic, and then I have anybody on the call answer first, because I like to learn as well. And it's open to anybody. You don't even have to know how to spell NLP. But I've been so blessed. This Tuesday, I did episode 185, and all of the recordings of it's called Talk Time with TJ, Triple T. And all of the recordings are on my YouTube channel for free. So we got 185 of them up there now. Feel free to check them out. And it's always the same Zoom meeting. So if you make it out once, I'd love to see you guys' beautiful faces on there. But I want to make sure that I've got time to give away some stuff to reward you for coming in here. I really appreciate you guys. So we got tickets and a hat. And the first 4 will get 4 hours of my time to learn, coach, anything that you would like. So if we could get the tickets up here. Drum roll and all that good stuff. First one who gets 4 hours of my time, last 3 digits, 3, 2, 8. Really? Right on.
That's very cool, TJ. Thank you. Looking forward to that.
Cool. Me too. All right. Second one. 3, 2, 5. Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. 2 left. Who wants one? Positive thinking, that's how it works. So you're sending out the vibes, and whoever sent out the most vibes on this ticket gets it. 3, 3, 5. Sir. Welcome. One left. You guys ramping up your mojo?
Let's take it out.
And we're going to go with 3, 2, 6.
Thank you, thank you.
Sir. Welcome. And now, still got 4 left to go. If you guys have been to any of my trainings, you know that I like to give away journals and stuff because I'm into those. So, 3, 4, 4. Sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Even matches your outfit today. 3, 2, 7. You're welcome. Did you put your mojo in the hat?
I did.
3, 3, 9. Sir, one left. And the last one, 3, 4, 0.
Thanks.
You bet. I want to thank you guys so much for showing up. If you enjoyed the talk, if you got something out of it, please go on the app and leave some comments and stuff. If you didn't like my talk, go to somebody else's profile and leave some comments. But other than that, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.